God Almighty, y'all. I want to tell y'all something right here. Listen. Oh yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible, it tells me so. That the Roman soldiers, they whipped him up. Calvary. He hung, bled, died for you and me. Went in the grave, he didn't stay there long. He carried out the mission from the heavenly throne. Somebody ought to say yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I say it again? Oh yes, Jesus loves me. I'm talking about God, son. He didn't have what he wanted. The Roman soldiers, good God Almighty. He hung there, died for you and me. Went in the grave, he didn't stay there long. He carried out the mission from the heavenly throne. Somebody ought to say yes and give him praise. I know he loves you, and for that I want to say it again. Oh yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible, I read it for myself, y'all. The Roman soldiers, good God Almighty, he stayed there for you and me. He went in the grave, he didn't stay there long. He robbed the grave of the victory. Somebody ought to say that. Listen, yeah, you can see the time of sorrow drawing nearer every day. Men and women will hate you when you tell them they got to live the right way, but you just, good God Almighty, I wouldn't care, and you shouldn't either. Somebody ought to cry, yeah, oh yeah. This is when I tell you, oh yeah, Jesus loves me. I read it in the Word, yes I did, that the Roman soldier, for no reason at all, he hung, bled, died for you and me. He went in the grave, he didn't stay there long. He carried out the mission from the heavenly throne. Say yeah, good God Almighty. Let me tell you this before I leave. You can see these precious times drawing nearer every day. Men and women will hate you when you tell them to live the right way, but you just, good God Almighty, I wouldn't care, and you shouldn't either. Somebody shout yes, that I know, good God Almighty. Oh yeah, Jesus loves me. Stay there, y'all. The reason why I know he loves me, God gave his son gave his life for you and I, good God Almighty. He said in the Word, there's no greater love than a man to lay down his life for his friend. Did God do it? Yes, he did. He went on through it, good God Almighty. He went up for his glory, and then he went out. It told a story, but when he come down, all sin was bound. I know he loved me, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Do he love you? Do he love you? Are you right about it? Don't he love you? When you think about what God done, think about the races that you had to run. He was right by your side, he will be your guide. I know he loved me. Don't he love you? Good God Almighty. I know